在第200集中，我们带来最受欢迎的 interview 单元。那今天来访问 Henry 在做 VC 的角色是怎么样来看高风险的简报。那在这个单元中，你会听到做 presentation 之前该做什么准备，听众想要听到什么，还有用字跟修辞是否真的很重要。So let's have a listen.Hello， 欢迎来到 Executive Plus 主管与沟通力的 Podcast。I'm Sherry, an educator, certified coach, and style enthusiast. 我相信专业有效的沟通是语言跟逻辑的完美结合。
And I'm Nick, a startup consultant, corporate trainer, and late-night gaming junkie. I believe great communication requires the right mindset and solid frameworks.
我们希望带给大家职场英语的技能、跨文化沟通技巧与其他能帮助您成为出色领导者的工具。
Join us each week as we share our experience, research, and methodologies to take your communication and language skills from good to great. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Executive Plus podcast. Today is a special episode as it is number 200. And to help us celebrate this milestone in our podcast's life, we've brought in a special friend, someone who we have known for quite a while. We often pick his brain, but now we want to share his wisdom with the rest of you. Mr. Henry Tsai.
Hi, Henry.
Hi everyone.
Henry, could you tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, and what you do?
Hello, everyone. I'm Henry, venture capitalist. I'm also a risk lover. I'm also a simple life believer, but facing countless of sophisticated matters in my career.
I think that describes a lot. Well, maybe not the risk side, but definitely facing the challenges of our career.
那因为我们很多的听众不一定对于这个新创啊 startups 或者是 VC 非常的 familiar。 Henry 你可不可以大概讲一下就是 VC 的角色是什么？
OK, VC 就是 venture capital， 基本上呢它就是 take the risk and get the return back。对，那它这个 take risk 呢基本上就是用他们的 capital 去 take 你的 risk， 但 risk 有很多不一样的 risk， 就是你的 idea 是 maybe 是一个 risk，market acceptance 是一个 risk，你的 execution maybe 也是一个 risk，对，它都需要一段时间去被 verify。对，那在这一段过程呢 ，venture capital 基本上就是用它的 capital 去陪你度过这一段的 risk。那最后呢，是希望达到有一个 value added 的效果，让你最后可以拿到一个 return 回来。对，所以呢，基本上在一般人接触到 VC 的时候呢，比较容易把它当作是一个 money 而已。对，所以但是基本上除了 money 之外，这个一般来说 venture capitalist 除了 money 之外，还可以提供你更多在你怎么去 run 你的 business，然后在你任何做 making any decision 的时候，会有一些 advice。对，他不一定能告诉你是 how to succeed，but 他因为看的比较多的时候，更重要的是他可以告诉你 maybe there's 100 ways to fail in your business。Yeah, so you can avoid that. Yeah.
So 刚刚 Henry 有讲到嘛这些 risk， 那也就是说其实他听了非常多的 pitches 跟 presentation， 他也做过在很多不同的 board meetings 都有参与过，所以我们今天就想要来 pick his brain and just to understand as someone who's often at the receiving end of presentation and pitches, what he thinks about a good presentation skill set would be.
I would be curious, because you both look at the startup world from the venture capital side, but as these companies grow, you'll often take a board seat. But when someone's going into pitching their business idea or pitching their idea, what are usually the good signs that you see, or what do you expect out of someone who is sharing their idea that makes you feel it either gets you excited or gets you interested in what they're doing?
Yeah, the most important that I want to hear the pitches is I can see the opportunity, no matter how big is it or how far it is. Yeah, I want to see the opportunities since basically I'm a risk lover. So I know there's a lot of risk, but I want to know, I surely want to explore is what you believe and where's the opportunities.
When looking for people to tell the story of opportunities, what things do you kind of expect them to have? I mean, I think a lot of startups will get into that, like, okay, total market size, but they'll give you maybe some data out of context, or, you know, what kind of information, whether it's the way they tell their story or tell their strategy. In what way do you like to receive, you know, more information about the opportunity?
通常会告诉你说，如果是最好的状况下，他会告诉你他在这个 market 上他的 position 在什么地方。Well, that's the key. Yeah. 你必须先知道你想要 challenge 的 market 是在什么地方。Maybe it's an existing market, you want to tap into that, or there's an emerging market, or there's a market never ever presented so far.Yeah, 所以你必须知道你的 position 在哪里，对，那你有什么 strength 或者是你的 weakness， 你是 tap into 这个 market， 对，那这个东西通常是我们最想知道的事情，对。
Yeah, I feel like there's a sort of requirement, a thought process. People need to have quite a bit of self-awareness. Or at least business awareness of where they are. It's not just I have a great idea, but it's just like where does my idea fit into this world?
那刚刚讲了比较像是内容的部分，那请问有没有一些比如说是 presentation 或者是讲话的方式或者是沟通的方式是你比较舒服的啦？
沟通来讲的话，基本上我们会喜欢的就是说他是一个比较就是一个 communicative 的 person，对。那对我们来说，我们在评断这是一个好的 pitch 或者是坏的 pitch 的时候，不会是说 like this is a fierce discussion or just a very casual or soft discussion，就评断它是一个好或坏。对，因为 communication 的方式我觉得有很多，对，有时候是需要 maybe just eye contact or gesture，所以这倒不太一定，对，但是我们比较不喜欢的就是如果他是 decline to communicate 的状况下，我们就是很难去帮助他去了解说我们要怎么去进行这个 pitch。When
you said decline to communicate， 意思是他真的完全就不想要沟通，或者完全不想要跟你讨论事情吗？
对，因为沟通有时候是 one way， 有时候是 two way，right？ 对，那有时候这一次 pitch maybe 只是一个 market information 的 sharing， 对，但是他有时候可能是不想要做这件事情，或者是 two way 的这个 discussion 的时候，但是有时候他可能会拒绝说我去询问什么样的问题，因为他 maybe 就是想做一个 one way 的presentation，对，那就是在这种状况下，我们就比较难去听他的 pitch 到底是要做什么样的东西。
There's two things that I like out of this idea. One is, would you agree that when people go into a pitch session or a pitch meeting, they should actually go in with the mentality that it is a conversation. It is two-way. It's not like they talk, you listen, you ask questions, they answer questions, and they leave. Right? I'm guessing like the best pitches that you've had has been more like a conversation.
Yeah.
The second thing is the idea of communication, because as you said, a lot of people may just think of venture capital as like, that's the money people, right? That's the bank they walk in, take some cash out, build their business. But the reality is it's actually a relationship, and a long-term relationship, maybe, several years while the company is growing. So someone willing to communicate is a sign that you can have a good relationship over time, right?
Yes.
When building relationships with these founders in the early stage, what is it that you look for in their communication? Not just the two-way or openness, but it's like specifically what is like the personality or the type of relationship you would like to have with a founder over like a 3 to 5 year period?
Yeah, the most important thing that he or she must be very sincere. Yeah, sincerity is our first priority. Yeah. So it's no matter how the things goes, we want to just know the true story. So for every investment at the very beginning, we will have a fully discussion how to grow your business, how to execute every project. Things may just go high and low, and you may go on the mountaintop, but there's a certain depth valley you must go through. We understand that, and there's many risks. Yeah, but we want to know is the true story. And the true fact that you have faced and you are willing to share with us.
So their pitch doesn't have to be all like rainbows and butterflies and sunshine, right? Because everyone knows that businesses have highs and lows. So for you, would it be fair to say that it's someone who can actually articulate every side of the business?
Yes.
那比如说你刚刚讲到，就是你希望大家是很真诚的，所以我在相信，就是你的经验当中，应该有的时候你知道他在讲的不是事实。Like you know that someone is not telling the truth. 通常这个 sign 是什么呢？
通常会通过几个问题 ，maybe 是说 challenge 一些他已经知道的一些事情，对，那看他的，有时候是看他的反应是怎么样子，对，因为有些人是在我的有时候看，就是有些人他认为事情就是这样，但即便你去 challenge 他的时候，他也不太容易接受别人的这样子的一些 challenge，对，那这个时候因为 maybe market changes fast。所以有时候他不太能就是能跟上这个状况下，但这个时候他如果是拒绝是承认这样子的状况下的时候，有时候他会选择就是如果是在我们的 board meeting 上的时候，他会去 disguise 这样子的 information，或者是去扭曲这个是 market information 告诉他的事情，然后来告诉我们，那我们就可能会在这样的状况下做了错误的 decision，对，那这个是我们不想要遇到的事情。
Okay, let's say someone is being more sincere, they're being more open with their communication. What would you want someone to share? Like, again, there's a market downturn or some decision go wrong. For you, what's a good way to report that kind of information, like say to a board or to an investor? Or at least what would you want to hear other than, well, we made a wrong decision?
For me, I like to more simple way. Yeah. If you think you're doing wrong way, just tell us. Yeah. But we want to know why you made that, you gone through a wrong way. Yeah. We can skip that mistakes next time. Yeah. You can learn from that experience to make the right choice next time. Well, I think that's the value and or the beauty to do a venture capital. Yeah.
So you definitely prefer people to be more direct and honest about what they have done, right?
Yes.
所以很多比如说修辞的方式啊，他讲话如果他有点刻意在掩盖什么，这些你都可以听得出来。You just want a simple answer.
Yes. Of course.
I'd be curious, do you have any examples of either pitches or board meeting presentations that went really well? And what in it made it feel really good?
通常会说比较好的一些就是 board meeting， 我们会希望是它会有一个很清楚的 time frame，那我们要讨论的事情是什么？这个通常会有一个 pre-schedule 会出来，那我们就针对这个讨论在这个状况下，因为通常 board 可能3个人、5个人甚至7个人，那这个时候如果很多人要讨论同一件事情，没有一些好的 agenda 的话，会很发散，对，所以我们会希望在 board meeting 上的时候可以比较有效率来谈论这些事情，对。但是谈论的事情的话，基本上因为我们都会有每一次我们都会有一些 goal， 那在这个 goal 我们要知道说 compared to the past 他做的是如何，对，因为通常 goal 我们都是一开始就已经讲好了，我们只是要关注说在 execution 这边遇到了什么样的问题，或者是有什么 unexpected risk we have not noticed， 对。那我们可以去再怎么样去看这个事情，那 maybe next quarter 的时候，我们要去再做这个 execute 的时候，我们是有什么东西要特别小心，或是可以避免的。对，那大概是 board meeting 我们会主要是看这些东西。
Is there anything that especially stands out where you walk into a board meeting and you just feel like, oh crap, there's no way this is going to go well?
Yes, of course. Yeah, several
Like
times.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, like behavior or anything. What is it?
通常是说一开始如果这种 board meeting 一开始就会他完全不照着 agenda 开始的时候，这种 sign 通常是不是太好，对，因为就算 board meeting 通常都还会是有一个 like chairman 或者是他会有一个 organizer 还是会去组织一下这个会议，但如果通常会议开始就会有人不照着 agenda 就开始在讲其他的，通常是一个 bad sign， 就是说这个东西不会是照着预期的来走，所以这种时候通常就会有预期说I gotta pay more attention in this meeting. Yeah.
because a large amount of your portfolio is also in the US. And then, of course, in the last 2 years, traveling back and forth has been much more difficult. When you're having a lot of these conversations online or you're talking to people in other countries, have you noticed any kind of major change in the way that this, as you were talking about, two-way communication works? You know, how are you handling that shift in making sure that you still are having good two-way communication, or have you noticed any like etiquette changes that you wish people would improve on for online discussion?
这件事情其实我到现在还是一直在要习惯当中，对，因为做 making any investment decision 的时候，我们都也知道这个是一个 maybe over 3 years or 5 years or 7 years to 10 years 的 decision，所以我们在这个状况下，其实是如果没有就是我们常用过去的 face to face 这样子的方式去做 discussion 的时候，所以我们现在常用都是 online 这样 pitching 的话，其实我们很常见的其实就是大家可以想象到，我们就是 go through 它的 presentation， 对，然后问一些问题。但这个呢，通常是比较聚焦在它这个 business 的 idea，那它的 market position 在哪里？就是 purely 的 business 的 perspective， 对。但是我们更很多 care 的就是说，它有没有这个 ability to execute the idea，这个关键的话，通常是比较是要在实际在 face to face 的时候，我们才比较容易去看得出来。对，因为你要做 daily 的 execution， 是你必须 on the spot， 你就是在那边，对。那你没有去跟这个 founder 或者是这些人实际的去接触过的时候，很难去体会到说他怎么去 execute 这个 project。You can feel the temperature. Yeah, like coffee. You must feel, and then you can decide, oh, this is good.
Oh, okay. So when you actually do have this opportunity to have this face-to-face time, 你通常会去感受它的什么样子 temperature 吗？ So like, what do you actually look for?
Passion. Yeah. Passion is maybe the second priority less than the sincerity. Yeah. So passion 就像我说的，就是说 to do a startup 有一点像是做一个 adventure， yeah， 我觉得这是大家都知道的，但是因为走到 mountain top 或是 Death Valley， 这个是可以想象，但是通常在这个时候你没有 passion 的时候，你很难走完这一段的旅程，因为我们知道这一段 journey 不是一个 short trip。对，它一定是一个比较 long term 的 journey，对，所以你没有 passion 的时候，很难就是走完这段 journey， 即便你未来的 opportunity 或者是 value 非常 return 可能会非常好，但你没有足够的 passion， 基本上我们会觉得你很难走完这一段过程，因为通常是好的时候，你可能大家会聚集到你身边，因为 to do a startup you can just do everything on your own。Yeah, you must group talented guys to be with you to grow the business. 对，但是如果走得好的时候，大家可能都会靠到你这边一起走，那你可能就走得比较顺利一点。对，但是你在遇到一些 drawbacks 的时候，这个时候好的人可能就是认为这个可能不太行，那他的可能就会离开。那你可能那时候说不定你的资金也可能是差不多烧了差不多的状况下，你要怎么去想办法去 grow 继续 grow 你的 business 的时候，这时候通常是靠这个 founder 的 passion 去 sustain 这个部分。对，那如果你没有这个 passion 的话，对我们来看你就很难走完这一段的 journey。
I mean, do you have any measurements of how you kind of sense passion in a pitch, aside from like someone jumping up and down on the table?
Right,
like,
yeah.
How do you measure that temperature?
Well, you can feel the excitement that how the way that he or she expressed to on the spot, right? Yeah, it's a very direct sign, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Everything he or she told you that you can feel the excitement.
But can they fake passion?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Well, I would be curious again, back to that online discussion. Do you feel that passion doesn't translate through the internet quite as well as in person?
Yeah, in my perspective, yes, that's true. Or maybe they can transfer, but I can receive that.
Oh, right. 因为我觉得像 passion 就是大家可能会想象就是 passion 就是讲话比较高亢一点 like high pitched voice a little bit faster、这个是我们大部分人所想象的 passion you know what passion would look like so I'm just wondering like you know 你在 presentation 上面你听到的这个 passion 通常是从哪一个地方感受得到？
通常是看到就是回到最一开始，就是他如果有相信在 in the future maybe it's near future or just a long term future 他看到的那个 opportunity 这个机会在这个现在的 market 里面是不是还存在，他如果有的话基本上我们都可以感受到就是说他认为他要怎么去做到这个部分、那只是说当然这一段 journey 是或长或短，那容不容易走、那这个是我们在帮他去看的部分。对，所以当然我说这个 passion 不一定是他讲话就是已经是很高亢或者是什么对，但是我会感受到就是说他 believe in some opportunities that can make great value。
So I have one last question for Henry. 那这个部分比较跟我们语言教学比较相关，因为其实在现在市场上面有很多的教科书也好，很多 information 是告诉人家说哦，你在做 presentation 的时候你要用什么字才会显得专业，但是老实说在实际的生活当中，像 board meeting 像你所谓这些 pitches， 你会去专注那一些用字吗？还是你听的其实是它的内容它的 content？
我们基本上在实际在参加 board meeting 的时候、我们都是完全是看内容在这些特别的用字上我们不会特别的去专注在这个事情上，因为实际在 run business 的时候我不太觉得说有人会在特别的字眼上会去看。对
So it's really because what you want to really see is the long-term relationship, right, with this person.
We learned quite a bit about how you view business and things of that nature. But I would also be curious, like you as a person, you talk about being a risk taker, but a simple life believer.
Yeah.
Where do you see the balance of your passion for looking at risk, whether in business, but also like things that you do in your own personal life?
Oh, good question. Wow.
Do you take risk in your life?
Yes. Yeah. Almost every year I want to make my own self an adventure. Yeah, to go outside jungle, I think. Yeah.
Forgot.
Since there's a lot of unexpected risks I have never imagined. So, well, that's what I love.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. But we can keep it simple. Just a fantastic journey I want to experience. So also can recall to my saying that I'm a simple life believer. Yeah, I want to keep it simple. But I can also accept there's a lot of adventurous events or risk that in my life.
For those of us in the office, we kind of know you as a pretty quiet guy, very humble, you know, really friendly to talk to. But then we also find out like you have a secretly wide range of skills and hobbies from playing tennis, playing guitar.
He knows how to draw.
Yeah, can
artist.
I always think I'm a very simple guy, but why there's everyone that you say that I'm a mysterious person.
Mysterious is like we always like find out a little bit more the longer we know you. Be like, wait, Henry also knows how to do that, or he's, like places you've gone, adventures you've had. I think it's always kind of interesting because your general demeanor is
he's very humble.
Quiet. Yeah,
he doesn't brag about anything. So I think that's why we're always surprised to find out, oh wow, you can do that.
I can do that, but I believe there's someone can do better than me. Yeah.
There you go.
So stay humble. Yeah. Like communication. You guys, I'm not a good communicator, I believe.
Well, I'd just be curious, like for yourself, when you're choosing your next adventure or you're looking for the next thing that you want to improve or grow on, do you have any like specific criteria of like, okay, this is the next thing I want to try? Do you have a bucket list? Or is it just like when an opportunity comes along and be like, yeah, I'll learn how to do that?
Yeah, I think just the things just come. So just things just happen. And maybe suddenly my friends offer me a trip there. There's maybe just a time frame that offer me to go. And there's no any other informations. Yeah.
And you'll just go.
Yeah. Like my friend, maybe 5 years ago, that he offered me a trip to Hawaii. Yeah. Well, everything that just in
lines
我觉得
up.
夏威夷就是一个 非常 enjoy. You can enjoy everything that a very casual time over there. Yeah. But in the end, 在 Hawaii 的时候，当我下了飞机，大概3天之内，我大概只看到3个人。
Why?
对，因为他从一下飞机呢，就把我们带到一个很长的 trail 去，那个要走个大概3天。对，那这个 trail 呢，基本上没有任何人在那个上面。
Just like hiking through the
Yeah,
jungles on Hawaii.
There's no beach, there's no bikini, there's no everything else.
No bikinis,
So,
that's the point.
Is that the exact place that we landed on in Hawaii? That's not the exact place.
That's funny. 我觉得蛮好玩，是你在生活当中，你反而不会去有太多的，比如说 goals 和目标，因为你在 in terms of business, you set goals, you know exactly what's going to happen. At least you try to avoid any mistakes or failures. But in life, 我觉得你还蛮 spontaneous.
Well, I mean, that's back to the risk, right? Like, go find the adventure, and as long as the idea sounds interesting, or maybe the person who pitches the trip is passionate about it, then you'd be like, all right, let's do this. It's a lot of trust as well.
我觉得今天在这个单元真的是学到非常的多，要感谢 Henry， 那他教我们了Number 1, be sincere.
Yes.
Number 2, be passionate, right?
Yes.
No matter what you do. Number 3, take risk, but keep it simple.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll throw one more in there
good
that I heard
conclusion.
is that go into presentations, whether it's pitching your startup idea, maybe your business idea, or even just sharing information with the mindset of a conversation, two-way communication.
Yes.
Any last words of advice or wisdom for our audience?
Find out who you are passionate about and lead an adventurous life. You have to have the courage to embrace what's impossible. And I want to give you an advice that you also have the most important things. You must have the wisdom to identify what's the possible and what's the impossible thing.
So does that apply to listener who is about to give a very high stake presentation or pitches? 就是如果有任何的 listener 接下来一个非常重要的 presentation, it's high stake, could be high risk. 那你有什么样的 advice 要给他们呢？
在这个问题上，当然前面我们提过有一些我们希望看重的点的上面，对，但是通常我们会希望你在准备这个简报的时候，特别是这种 high risk 的状况下的时候，第3个我可能会比较想看，我是希望他是比较是一个 optimistic guy， 对，因为 you can go high and low， 对，但是如果你不是非常 optimistic 的话，你是没有办法走完这个 journey 的，对，也就是说 to do a stop, just 你 maybe 是可以走到一个很成功的一个最后的一个 final position，对，但是像我说的，虽然中间会有 high and low，但是基本上我们知道的状况是 maybe over 90% time 你是在比较 suffer 的状况下，所以你不是一个 optimistic 的 person 的话，你很难走过这个状况。对 ，maybe 你的 high 的时候可以一下 jump to very high， but most of the time you have to fix lots of the problem that you never expected。对。对，所以在准备一个比较 high risk 的 pitch 的时候，我们通常也会看说你是不是有足够的这个乐观。当然，你这个乐观不是漫无目的的这种乐观，对，但是说你有没有这个 optimistic mentality that to help to go through this adventurous style of life.
Well, I would be curious is like, I mean, a lot of that is for startup pitching, but even when you get to board or internal company presentations, a lot of people approach these with just, I'm giving information, right? And then back to your idea of being optimistic, but also being passionate, is that when you want to pitch like a high stakes idea, even within a company, you do have to have a sense of either passion or optimism. Otherwise, a lot of people just give a report like, here is the data from Q1. Here is what our estimate of Q3 is. But there's no passion behind, like, I believe we can get there. I believe we can improve our numbers, right? It's just, yeah, we think we can do this. Well, we want to thank you again, Henry, for sharing your wonderful experiences with us.
Same with me. Yeah.
And we definitely want to say a big thank you again to our listeners for sticking with us through 200 episodes.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And as we prepare out the next 200 more, of course, we would love to hear more from you. So on your favorite podcast listening platform, go ahead, give us a rating, give us a review, and give us some feedback. For the next 200 episodes, what would you like to see more of? Do you want more interviews? Do you want more live lessons? And what topics would matter to you as we build out the future of our podcast?
So 200 episodes and 200% of passion. Thank you, guys.
Thanks a lot. We'll talk to you next time.
Bye.
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 The Executive Plus podcast is a Presentality Group production, produced and hosted by Sherry Fang and Nick Howard. You can search us on Facebook, 主管英文 Executive Plus. You can also find us on Instagram, Communication R&D, and email us at sherry@epstyleplus.com.